for the first 3 centuries of Christianity, there are 10 major persecutions. I have to remind myself, the church was born into a one-world anti-Christian government, the Roman Empire. I mean, if you and I were to start something, we'd be like, protect it for a little while, like a greenhouse, let it grow a little bit before you let it get smashed. No, immediately God let the church be persecuted. And the Christians prayed for boldness. They didn't run and hide. But the first 3 centuries, the Christian experience was meeting in catacombs. Went to school in Rome and college, all right, for 6 months, and we toured the catacombs. You'd, crawl almost, down a little passageway and get into a little room that was carved out of the rock, and they would, have candle marks in first century Christian graffiti. That was a Christian experience. And anyway, so then you have but Christianity still grows. And then you have an emperor named Gallienus, and he's a little tolerant, 260 A.D., and he doesn't really enforce all the pagan. And so Christianity grows, and there's a lot of Christians now in the military. They love Rome, they're supporting the emperor, and they're serving. But then you have Diocletian becomes the emperor in 285 AD. He loses some battles with Persia. He asked his generals why. And the general said, well, it's your fault because you've allowed the army to neglect to worship the Roman gods. And Diocletian says, okay, army, get back to worshiping the Roman gods. Well, there's a lot of Christians in the military, and they can't do that. And so the Christians are purged from the military. Once all the Christians are out of the military, Diocletian decides to use the military to force the entire Roman Empire to return to worshiping the Roman gods. And they go systematically, province by province, arresting pastors, burning down churches, burning the scriptures, cutting out their tongues, boiling them alive. It goes on for 10 years. So there is a serious threat when the military gets purged. It's naive of us to think that the people pushing this agenda will push their agenda through the schools. They'll push it through the courts. They'll push it through Lois Lerner having the IRS target conservative organizations. They'll push it through, here's Eric Holder giving guns to drug gangs in Mexico with Fast and Furious. They'll push their agenda with co-opting the intelligence agencies to dig up dirt on their political opponents. It's naive of us to think that once they purge the military of Christians, they won't be tempted to want to use that to push their agenda.
Yeah.